From the WACH-FOX studio, here is Corey Miller with your sports update.
Well, folks, I saw the emails. I heard your messages about doing more Clemson football talk here on WACH-FOX Sports, and I thought of one person. This guy right here, Lawton Schwan of Clemson Sports Talk. You can catch him on Fox Radio on 1400 AM right here in the Midlands. And I was glad to see you, man. You're looking good. You're sporting a nice Clemson shirt for the show. It's good.
Well, you got to represent the Midlands for the Tigers, so.
No doubt about it. And you do a great job of doing that each and every afternoon. Let's get right to it, shall we? Of course, the news this week is about DJ Reader leaving the team for personal issues. Dabo addressed that during the week, and I know you in close contact with the folks up in Clemson. Just talk about DJ Reader and what you're hearing, what those situations are all about.
Sure, it's a strange one for Dabo Swinney because you don't see him get agitated with the media that often. He tends to have a little bit of a laid-back attitude, and he was probed a couple of times about the situation. And when you look back and reflect on, I think, the way Isaiah Battle's career ended at Clemson, there are a lot of people raising that red flag when Dabo Swinney says, hey, he did this on his own accord, took a step back for a minute. So there are some questions about the situation with DJ Reader, but I think Dabo Swinney has handled the program pretty well. I commend Steve Spurrier. I think both programs here in the state have done a really good job of the off-the-field incidences not being a big deal. But, again, with DJ Reader, you just don't quite know the answers. We've asked all the people, but it all comes back to, hey, this was DJ's decision, and he's decided to step away for a little while.
Well, the issue is with really two returning starters. I mean, you had other guys, and DJ Reader being one of those guys that has some spot starts, if you will. Defensively, Brent Venables, I liked him the day he got on campus.
Right.
There, even when folks at Clemson were didn't know. They wasn't sure about his ability to run a defense, but we saw last year number one in the country in most areas defensively. Now you're talking about a defense going to have to, fill some holes, fill some gaps, and lost a lot of great players to the National Football League. Defensively, do you think this team can support what they have on the offense, meaning being able to stop some folks to allow that offense to get back on the field?
Yeah, I think defensively, you look at this Tiger team and you got Brent Venables there. You already mentioned a very good defensive coordinator, one of the top in the country. And then Clemson's gone out and replaced those guys with even better recruits. And you look at a young man like Christian Wilkins, who's just a phenomenal athlete, a five-star player out of the state of Connecticut. Maybe not the best competition that he played against in high school, but he's come in and by all accounts has been what some people might call a war daddy on the inside. So if you can get him in early and get him some experience, maybe down the road, the loss of DJ Reader, depending on how long that is, may not be something that will affect Clemson.
Of course, Shaq Lawson is a guy that made the preseason All-ACC team on defense. Now the offense, of course, all about Deshaun Watson. We all know that the quarterback, he's got to stay healthy if this offense is going to be where they can be. I think, the receivers, they call it wide receiver university for a reason. You got a lot of really good talent there. Mike Williams, Artavius Scott, a lot of great players there. The running back position is loaded too. Those guys are going to be battling. Coach Yeller got to figure out who's going to start there.
Sure.
Offensively, this should be one of the best offenses for sure in the ACC, probably in the country.
Well, you would think so, and I think another key position that you didn't mention that could come into play is Jordan Leggett there, tight end for Clemson. Deshaun Watson's shown a great ability to read defenses and make the right throw, and when you've got a natural athlete that kind of fits that billing, and he hasn't lived up to the expectation that I think Clemson Tiger fans have had for him. I'd like to see him do more this year. The other thing, I'll go back to the running backs. Like you said, a stable of guys, but somebody's got to come to the forefront.
Right.
It seemed like Wayne Gallman was doing that last year. Can that continue in the 2015 season? That's a big question.
That is a big question. Of course, they got a pretty easy game to start the season. A couple of the few weeks to get guys ready to go and play before they get in the thickness of their schedule. Of course, the other thing we don't have time to talk about is the kicker going to be out a couple of games, so we'll watch the kicking situation. He's Lawton Schwan, Fox Sports Radio, 1400 at 6 to 8.
Yeah, weeknight, 6 to 8.
6 to 8, you can catch
iHeartRadio app. iHeartRadio.
For those that are outside of Columbia, you can catch that man right there, Lawton Schwan, Clemson Sports. Well, that's going to do it for our sports. We'll be back in a moment.